This week for Tactical Tuesday, we're going to talk about one of the coolest knives on the market, the Microtech Ultratech. Microtech has been producing eye-catching out-the-front knives for many years. These knives can oftentimes be seen in action movies like The Gemini Man and more recently in the John Wick series. Microtech produces some of the highest quality out-the-front knives that are available on the market. What sets these knives apart from other out-the-front knives is the quality of the materials that Microtech chooses to use. Unlike a lot of the other cheaper brands that you'll find at like gas stations and stuff like that, Microtech actually uses materials that are designed to last and hold up over many years and over hard, rigorous use. What you'll find is that they are using CNC'd 6061 aluminum for the housing of the knife itself, as well as various stainless steel and other high quality internal parts. And what that does for the knife itself is it produces a quality knife that's not only designed to deploy reliably and efficiently over thousands and thousands of uses, but its lockup is incredibly tight. Microtech has one of the tightest lockups for any out-the-front knives available on the market. And that's what really sets them apart from some of the other out-the-front knives that you'll see available. Microtech's been doing it for a long time, and they've been doing it arguably the best. Another thing that you'll find with some of the lesser quality brands of out-the-front knives is that the handle material is made out of very cheap pot metal, and the handle to blade ratio is ridiculous. Oftentimes you'll find an out-the-front knife that has a humongous heavy handle because it is made out of a cheaper quality material. And what that does is it makes for a very unwieldy knife that is not very comfortable to carry around as your everyday carry knife. What Microtech has done is, because they are using good quality materials, is they're able to shave off a lot of that weight and size, making for a very comfortable and useful everyday carry knife. And even when they want to go larger scale with some of their bigger knives that they offer, like the Combat Tridon, because it's made out of good quality materials, they're able to keep it relatively lightweight, especially for a knife that's as big as it is. And while the weight of the Microtech knives may vary depending on the model that you choose to go with, their flagship knife, the Ultratech, weighs in at only 3.5 ounces, which makes for an incredibly comfortable everyday carry knife. And I can say that with a lot of experience of having carried one of these knives for the last 4 or 5 years. This one here is my personal Microtech Ultratech. As you can see, it's got a lot of pocket wear on it, but this thing has held up phenomenally. The action is incredibly smooth. The more I've used it, the smoother it's kind of broken in and become. I've been very satisfied with the blade steel that it comes with and the edge retention. While it's not my primary beater knife by any stretch, it is a knife that I regularly use, and it has held up incredibly well. With some very minor resharpening, and I'm no bladesmith, this knife has held, or the blade has held up incredibly well, and I've been very satisfied with my personal Microtech Ultratech. One major question you may have about the Microtech knives is, what blade steel are they using? And that can vary from model to model depending on what kind of limited run that they're doing, because Microtech likes to do a lot of kind of limited edition series of knives. But generally speaking, the go-to blade steel that they choose to use is M390, which is an excellent blade steel that holds edge retention very well and works excellent for most people's everyday carry applications. Another major question that people have about the out-the-front style knives, or switchblades as they're commonly referred to, is, are they even legal to own? And for most of you, the answer is yes. But there are a handful of states here in the United States where these style of knives are restricted. So you want to make sure to check with your local state laws before picking up something like this, just to make sure that you're not going to get in trouble for owning or carrying this style of knife. And a couple notable features about the Microtech Ultratech knives is that they have a deep carry pocket clip, which is excellent, if you're trying to keep your everyday carry options a little bit more hidden from the rest of the world. Especially if you go with one of the black pocket clip options, it really does an excellent job of blending in, and you can hardly tell that you even have a knife in the pocket. Especially because when the blade is Retracted, these are very low profile knives. They are very thin, and because they have that lower profile, it becomes very difficult to even tell that somebody has one of these in their pocket, making for an excellent everyday carry option. Another great feature that each of the Microtech knives comes with is an included glass breaker in the handle. So if you ever needed to, bust out a window for whatever reason, or maybe use it as a blunt object for defensive situations, you can do so with the provided glass breaker that's built into the handle. Another notable feature about the Microtech out the front knives is that it is designed that the user has to push the switch all the way forward and pull it all the way back to get the blade to deploy and retract. That is by design. It is a little bit stiff, but it's a very smooth action. And again, by design, Microtech doesn't want this knife to deploy in your pocket or something along those lines. While it is designed to stop if the blade hits any kind of obstruction, it is a very sharp blade. So it can still do some pretty good poking if it was to hit something like your leg or your jeans or something along those lines. It's gonna cause some damage. So by design, you do have to follow through all the way forward and pull it all the way back to get the blade to deploy and retract. And as mentioned before, I have been carrying a Microtech Ultratech for quite some time, and I am a huge fan of these knives. They perform very well. I've had no issues with mine being, not deploying or retracting when it wasn't supposed to. When I tested it to see if it would come off the track by shooting it into a piece of paper, it did exactly what it was designed to do. I pulled the blade, blocked it back onto the track. It's been good ever since. These knives are awesome. And the blade steel has, again, held up incredibly well. I'll put in some close-ups, but if you look at my knife, even though I've been using it for a lot of years, and you can definitely tell that, the edge retention has been just incredible. It's one of my favorite knives that I own, and I highly recommend that if you're looking for a cool, everyday carry knife, something that really is kind of a bragging piece, just because it's kind of a showstopper. It's that cool knife that you see in the action movies, again, like John Wick. These knives are awesome. They're quite the conversation piece, but they're also very useful. A big reason I love these knives is for the one-handed operation. Oftentimes I'm picking a box up, I need to cut it open. I can open my knife up, cut the box, close the knife, put it away. I don't have to worry about messing with a two-handed operation like you do with many other automatic knives. The fact that you can just push and pull on the switch makes this knife a no-brainer. Very easy to use, it's very intuitive, and I really think that if you pick one of these up, you're going to love it. So guys, while we have been mostly talking about the Microtech Ultratechs, here at Modern Warriors, we carry various models of Microtech knives. I had just grabbed a small selection of the ones we had out, but we carry knives like the UTX, the Combat Tridon, and we are going to be getting in more options from Microtech. So if you don't see the exact color or configuration that you want, just keep an eye out because we are going to continue to stock them. We're huge fans of these knives. And if you get the chance to come by the shop, we'd be happy to let you check one out and see for yourself what makes these knives so awesome. And if you're a blade guy, we're confident you're going to fall in love with one of these knives right away. So guys, thanks for watching today's Tactical Tuesday. We hope you enjoyed the video and that you found something awesome within it. And remember, we are continuing our night vision giveaway. So make sure to head on over to modernwarriors.com, click on the banner on the homepage and get those daily entries so that you don't miss out on your chance to win an awesome set of PVS 14s. In order to enter that contest, you do have to be over 21 years old, you have to live in the United States, and all ITAR restrictions do apply. But guys, again, thanks for watching today's video. We hope you liked it. And until next week, continue to train hard, train smart, and God bless you.